what I had to specifically work at was not feeling like crap when things didn't go the way I wanted it to go. That simple. If there is a problem, I already know what the result is going to be. Oh man, this is going to be bigger. And I already know that's what's going to, because it hasn't happened any other way. Until that happens, and then we'll see. But that hasn't happened yet.
Everybody, and welcome to The Nugget, the show where we talk to talented and accomplished guests and learn about the nuggets to their success in order to inspire us to pursue our goals and interests. So I'm Kara.
I'm Joanes.
And I'm JP.
Today on The Nugget, we have Phekoo, a Bronx native and talented artist, composer, super producer. He's the first and only Black American to win a JRA. That's a Japan Record Award, which is equivalent to a Grammy. That's right?
Yeah.
Listen. And he won that for Song of the Year with millions of records sold. Phekoo has paved his own lane in the Japanese music market and is partnered with music outfits Avex and LDH and is a member of the J-pop band, the Red Diamond Dogs. He has even helped Japan to become the largest physical music sales industry in the world and tours in front of massive audiences with hundreds of thousands of patrons per tour. Phekoo also contributes to many humanitarian efforts with organizations such as Red Cross Japan, and he notes that believing in yourself is paramount to lasting success. Let's welcome Phekoo.
Word.
That was the best intro I have ever gotten.
Listen, you told us who you are,
We
so
just
here it
reflected
is.
what we know, what we see.
You are so dope, and we're so excited to talk with you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
For people who don't know you, how would you introduce yourself?
Wow. Well, you guys did a great job right there, but I'm just a dude that loves music a lot. I'm very, very eclectic, and I've always loved every style of music. I've always been able to find music that I love in every single genre. Let's put it like that, no matter what. So that's just kind of my thing, and I just want to spread love and peace, man, through what I love to do.
And that love for different types of music came early, like as a kid, or?
I've been playing drums since I was like 4 years old. I got my first little drum set. I was playing in churches and stuff like that when I was a little kid. And
I actually wanted to ask you about that, but you kind of answered the question I had for you, which was
okay.
how do your interests from when you were young or even as a kid play into your current success?
I wasn't thinking about being a producer or a songwriter at that time. I was a drummer. I was trying to be the greatest drummer in the world. That was my thing. But I found myself like I was always good at like putting people together and organizing stuff. So I would start to put the bands together, and then I started writing the music for it. And I'm like, I'm already writing music. My friends, they were producing at the time, and I was checking out some of their stuff, and I was like, yo, that's dope. Shout out to Space and Gil Excel. I remember going to their studio one day and just seeing all the tracks they had made. I'm like, yo, I should probably, jump in on this. I might as well try it out. And that's what just got me started in production.
Are you enjoying the conversation? Please like and subscribe to our channel. Be sure to hit the bell for notifications and be the first to know when new episodes drop. Do you have any nuggets of wisdom to share? We'd love to hear from you on the nuggets you've learned. Please comment below.
So how does it came from end up like from church, coming from church?
Doing J-pop, right?
Doing J-pop. So I'm trying
Not only that, from the Bronx.
From the Bronx, right? I came from the Bronx.
Explain that, man.
Like ends up doing J-pop.
The Bronx, big black dude from the Bronx with a giant fro and a J-pop. I mean, it sounds weird to this day, and I don't speak Japanese at all.
You don't speak Japanese?
What?
No.
Dude.
I probably know like 5 words, man.
Word.
Yeah. It goes in and out. everybody there wants to practice their English on you anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, it's usually like that.
That's how
yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, what's the question again?
Yeah, how does
There's so many questions.
how do the kid from the Bronx end up
Okay.
in
Yeah.
a J-pop band, but also from a Christian religious background?
Yeah.
This is a lot. That sounds like a real.
It's a long story how that really happened, man. But okay, I'll tell
Give
you
us
what.
the short version. What's the short version?
When
What's the short version?
I went to Japan initially, just visiting.
Okay.
This wasn't a gig. There was no music. It wasn't anything. I was just hanging out. My cousin was in the military. He was stationed there for some time, and he was like, "Always, you got to come." And I was always like interested in like video games and tech when I was a kid. So Nintendo and all this tech came from Japan. So I wanted to go to Japan. So I was just visiting and checking it out. On my first trip there, I met a bunch of people that knew people in New York, and it was like, oh, it's a small world. What do you know? So I went back a second time. Second time I went to Japan, I was visiting with my friend Fuyu. He's my band member today, actually, in RDD. He is the one who introduced me to Atsushi, which is the leader of our group, and of Exile and LDH, all the stuff that they do over there. There was that connection that started my musical journey in Japan, basically. That's super short version, but yeah. This is interesting, right? When I first started writing music in New York, very beginning, never wrote a song before, never produced before, I had this idea for a song for Exile. So I wrote this song. I never told anybody this story, actually. I wrote the song.
So this is where I'm trying. I might need to take a note or two. But
Sure.
Yeah.
So I made a deal with my boy Frank Cathcart. He was over at Eastside Sound, shout out, in the city. Really, really great studio. And we made a deal so that I could work on some music there, and we kind of bartered some things. And I worked on my first song. I had an idea for Exile, and I was like, dude, I just want to work on the song. So I just did it. I went to Japan. I gave it to Atsushi just in passing. We were hanging out one night, gave him a CD. This is 15 years ago. 16,
Yeah,
something
you
like
said
that,
CD.
right? Yeah, it was pretty much. Yeah, I gave it to him, didn't even think about it. We never talked about it. And it wasn't until 4 years later when Avex hit me up. I was in New York, like, yo, remember that song he gave Atsushi 4 years ago? We want to do it, and we want to make it the theme song for the tour.
Oh,
And
wow.
Hiro's the leader of LDH, and he was like, he's retiring. He's also a member of the group Exile. So in Japan, they call it graduating. That's how they put it.
Yeah.
So he was graduating with some other members. So it was a big deal. They're a legendary group.
Yeah.
So this song was supposed to be his swan song, I guess. So they had chosen that, and that's what started that whole thing, because it blew up, and it just went crazy.
This is so exciting. Like, you don't speak Japanese. You
No,
went there just to kind of visit. Like, you are what it means to literally live outside of your comfort zone,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
you just popped in, and now you've just killed it out
He
there,
went to
right?
a party and landed a career.
Yeah, because
Cheers.
my whole thing was like, yo,
Kampai.
we were like,
Kampai.
he must be like mad fluent at this point, and he must be killing it.
Nah, man.
How do you do that? How do you balance the two? Because you're producing for a J-pop band that's right, that's singing all.
Yeah.
It's not English. What clicked? What turned over for you? Like, oh, actually, I could do that, because it's not a natural.
I always just heard it, man. There was no barrier musically for me, man. Like, for me, music, I don't even hear lyrics, to be honest with you. Like, when I listen to music, I hear notes first. I hear the actual music. I hear, like, the notes that you're singing. I've always been made fun of for this because, like, back when I was doing the church thing, I've learned hundreds of, maybe thousands of songs. I don't know the lyrics to any, like, maybe 95% of them I don't know the lyrics to. But I could tell you exactly how the melody goes and all the harmonies and stuff like that. So that's how I hear it. So if I hear a good melody is a good melody, whether it's Japanese, English, whatever, I write the music in English. I'll put like English lyrics, and then Atsushi will take it, and then he'll like not translate it, but change it to a Japanese lyric, keeping the melody, the exact melody and the music. So that's how we do it. Yeah.
Got it. That is very cool.
How was it in terms of supporting that dream from your family and friends, or was it something that you set out on your own to do, or was there a lot of support around you?
Wow,
to
good question. Yeah, my family has always been very supportive of me, but this was definitely something that I set out to do on my own at the same time, because it's just, who goes to Japan just starts like, it's just kind of random. It's like, you sure? Like, but yeah, my family knew I was very passionate about it. They've always been great. Friends now is a mixed bag,
Feel
man.
me? Yeah.
It was weird.
I'm like, you going where?
Yeah,
All
I
right,
got.
dawg. I mean, when you get back.
Yep. I remember when I first started going, and I was investing some time there. You know, I had to put in some time. I remember one of my trips in the early days, I did like a good solid 3 months.
Do you have an audio podcast? Are you looking to grow your audience by expanding into video? Partner with Prosper Digital TV, a virtual and full-service video production company with a dedicated team ready to expand your podcast into video. Visit www.prosperdigital.tv or call 718-622-0062 to get started today.
I'm not getting paid. Nobody was covering anything like they are. Like, this was just all out of my pocket. And I remember, you know, musicians back here, certain people were just like, why are you doing that? Like, you're killing your whole thing. Like, dude, it's Japan. Like, you want to be big in Japan? You know what I mean? Like you're in New York. This is where everything is happening. I love New York. No, like no shade on New York, but I was like, dude, I kind of like it. It's literally that simple. I like it. I enjoy it. I'm doing what I enjoy doing. It may sound weird to you, but you know, that's just what I just liked it. I had a passion for it, so I just went for it, man.
I'm hearing you had like mixed support right here, I guess at the onset. And then how did you build your fan base once you like really were showing up even more in Japan?
I was very lucky to land that song with Exile, right? So it was a result of that first song, really. That's what did it. So that song blew up. I don't know how much you guys know about what happened with it, but basically it instantly went to like #1 on the charts out there. So I'm freaking out. I'm just some dude, right? And I'm like, whoa, I have a #1 hit. And then the first week, I think we cracked like 500,000 sales, and then it wasn't too much longer after that we hit 1 mil. Just side note, right? The music industry in Japan is like so different than America. If you sell a single here or something like that, it's like $1, right? 99 cents. Well, actually, everybody's streaming now. There's Spotify and like Tidal and stuff, so you're not even doing that. But back then, $1. If you were like Jay-Z or Beyonce or something, you could probably do $2 for a single.
Ringtone sales.
Yeah, right. But out in Japan, that single sold for around $16.
What?
Wow.
American?
I had no idea.
So
16 American.
So $16 US, approximately.
Come on.
So you do the math, 16 times a
And
million.
your phone's blowing up. Your phone's blowing up.
So it's
That's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So in America now, platinum is 1 million copies, right?
Right.
So I was reading online when the song came out. I was like, oh, multi-platinum. I was like, I didn't even go platinum yet. I wasn't even at 1 mil. Why did And I realized that platinum in Japan is 250,000. And I couldn't understand why.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, that's the reason why, the price point. Because think about it. If I put that out here, I would have to go more than diamond and a half
Right.
in order to get the same revenue that you get from 1 mil.
Yeah.
You have to sell 16 mil here.
Oh my
you know what I
God.
mean?
That
and
would
then
make me stay in Japan.
I mean,
I mean, not for nothing.
Yo,
plus you loved it?
When it came,
yo,
when
that's
it came
easy
to,
math, son.
when it came to like hip hop, and I, you know, I've had some friends who've toured, right, and the love you get and the amount of success you get independently outside the U.S.
Yeah.
Less stress, more money. That's what they would tell me. Not no stress. And this was for them back then.
It's mixed. It's mixed.
Yeah. Well, let us know.
What's the because we see the good now. The good is good. Look like
Japan has been.
Tell us the bad.
Listen, I can't say anything bad. They've been wonderful to me.
Okay.
I made lifelong friends there. It's been great. But you're talking about a money-making industry. And when you have big numbers floating around like that, you big problems. You already know how it is.
More money, more
I almost-
problems.
I don't even know if I should.
That's up to
I
you.
almost
ain't
got.
live.
I almost got.
we might bleep some stuff.
Okay,
If it's
okay.
crazy, we'll bleep it. We'll
Okay.
make sure that it doesn't
cut
get
it
you in
out.
any kind of trouble with
I
that.
I basically got blackballed in Japan at one point for
'Cause
all
you were
intents
too-
and purposes. In my opinion, what sort of caused it was, how do I put this?
Oh gosh.
You got something good. You got your team. You got this great studio. You got all your people, and then maybe you get in a new intern or something starts working for you and has a lot of new ideas, and just starts changing stuff up. As soon as he comes, this starts changing that. But they're super talented, and you really like what they're bringing to the table. But then you're like, why is he listening to this person? Why, it was that kind of thing.
Okay.
I was the new guy. I'm not Japanese. Right?
Gaijin.
Yeah.
Gaijin.
That's what I am. That's what I was. I don't feel that way now. I feel like a brother now, but that's what it was. And there were people and powers that be that didn't have the relationship that maybe me and Atushi had and some certain people there. And if they only talked to me for 2 minutes, they would have realized that we would have been instantly drinking and having fun and being cool. But I don't know you, and then every time you show up, maybe things change sometimes. And I think that ruffled some feathers. Yeah. I did make a difference. Things changed when I showed up. That's what I do. So...
Shout out to New York, because that's what we do.
That's what we do right now. It wasn't malicious, man. It was just me doing my thing. But, I understand on that side how that can be read, too. But so there was a time where that became a thing for me. And, it was... We weren't, really talking. There was nothing really happening for a good year. Ooh. But, the conversation ended up being had between the people that needed to, and it got patched up and they realized it was all nonsense and it was nothing at all. And we became even tighter, and that's when everything blew up and got even crazier. Yeah.
Okay. Because I thought you were going to say like a week, a month.
No, it was about a solid year. A solid year, yeah. It was...
What was that year like for you though?
Yeah.
Well,
how did you? Did you have to come back to the U.S.?
The partying ain't stopped.
Well, I was always going back and forth.
Y'all take your time. I'm gonna go back.
Right.
Even I was always back and forth, so I was never staying there for a really, really long time. It's usually a couple weeks at a time.
Oh, so there was no culture shock situation
all year long type of thing. So, and I had other stuff going too, but still, this was working with LDH and they're massive, multi-billion-dollar companies. They're doing wonderful work. They have so many top artists in the country. You want to be in bed with these guys. As a matter of fact, Avex is the largest independent publishing company in the world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
More than Universal Music Group?
Well, outside of the big three, independent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they're so big now. They're kind of technically considered the big four, even though it's not officially that term yet, because they're killing it.
Wow.
They basically run East Asia, man. But that's what happened. So there was some of that, and when the song came out and was getting nominated, I heard I might be nominated. Yeah. There was a lot of weird comments and stuff like that too, because I guess to people it seemed impossible that an outside person could do that or even have a chance. I remember telling one of my friends when I got the nomination, I was like, the word through the grapevine, Exile probably might be nominated for Song of the Year. No.
Wow.
Cold and turned ahead just like that. Yeah, because they couldn't believe it. And I couldn't believe it either, but it happened, man.
Change can be hard. Like the way you change locations, right? And the way that the folks around you, some of them weren't a fan of the changes you brought in. Change can be hard, but the way you've embraced it is really inspiring. The way you were just like, look, I'm out. I'm here. I'm doing this. And you live with so much confidence. Yeah. And I feel like it's in a really healthy place, in a really healthy amount. I myself have been affected by people's opinions of things that I'm doing. If they're just like, why would you do that? Or
exactly.
What have you. Yeah. I am shaken by those things.
Yeah.
And so I'm really inspired by how you're just like, look, this is what it is. I know I'm good at this. This is going to work. And we're going to just do it. So kudos to you.
There's a saying, while you were saying, there's a saying that goes at first they'll ask why you're doing it. And in the end, they'll ask how you did it. Make any sense? At first, people want to know, why are you doing that? Why you out in Japan? Come on, man. Why you doing that stuff?
They're resistant to what you're doing.
When you kill it, when you do your thing, and now they're like, oh, how did you do that, bro? Now everybody wants to know.
Now you're at the how. Right? Now you're at the how.
Yeah,
because that's why you're here, right? We're curious as to, right,
we're asking.
So we're
we ain't tell you shouldn't, though.
Inquiring minds wants to know. Right? It's so how'd you do that? Where did that confidence come from? Again, most people are trying to get to New York.
Yeah.
right? We're like,
Word.
all right,
And
if
I'm
I
doing
get
it the
here,
opposite. Yeah.
I'm good. You left New York,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Most people are like, yo, I'm here. This is where I'm trying to make it. And you went somewhere else,
Yeah.
willingly submitted yourself to that, and you made it over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So where does that? Because that's confidence in both places. You had to have the because it didn't just go and left. It seems like you took that. You're like, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna do my thing.
You know, we were actually planning to do something in the States right before the pandemic hit. That's a whole other story. So there was a whole plan. There's a plan in place for all of that. We planned to go worldwide. But
We all had plans.
To answer your question, but to answer your question, like from the man above, man, it's like just I'm extremely confident person, but I'm not a cocky dude. I don't think I'm better. Like I'm super humble. I'm super generous. At least I try to be. You know, so like I don't care when you're that way. I don't worry about anything. I don't worry about what people. My intentions. If I know my intentions are good, there's nothing to worry about. You could just move with full confidence with what you're doing because my intentions are good. You know, either I'm doing a good job or I'm doing a bad job, but at least my intention is good. And if that's there, like I'm okay. I can just go. As far as like Japan in particular, like I said, it was just like really interesting to me. I like the music over there from watching like video games and like anime and stuff like that as a kid, and it just kind of interested me and intrigued me a little bit. When I saw the opportunity that presented itself from meeting these guys, I was like, yo, I'm not gonna just pass this up because I mean, you know what I mean? This is a crazy opportunity. It's just happening here in Japan. I spent money, I bought tickets, flew out there, networked, and just made it happen.
Wow, you're just sitting there listening to One Piece, and you're like, I could do something with this.
How do you know about One Piece?
Come on, bro.
Are you enjoying the conversation? Please like and subscribe to our channel. Be sure to hit the bell for notifications and be the first to know when new episodes drop. Do you have any nuggets of wisdom to share? We'd love to hear from you on the nuggets you've learned. Please comment below.
Do you have an audio podcast? Are you looking to grow your audience by expanding into video? Partner with Prosper Digital TV, a virtual and full-service video production company with a dedicated team ready to expand your podcast into video. Visit www.prosperdigital.tv or call 718-622-0062 to get started today.
So would you say that outlook on life helped you to keep from getting detracted from your goals, your dreams, or were you just going with the flow? Like how do you, because a lot of people get burned by this industry.
Yeah,
You know?
for sure.
Or they get
For sure.
distracted, they go on a different tangent, and you seem to be owning your path. Well, what do you think contributed to that, to staying focused?
Well,
Or not being pulled away? you know?
yeah. There were moments where it was tough, man. I remember a family member telling me like, "Yo, get a job."
Oh, God.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I was 10 toes, 10 fingers, just all in from the beginning. No one could convince me otherwise. I've been playing music since I was a kid. I was obsessed.
Got it.
It was that or nothing at all from the beginning. So
So
there
the
was
business didn't really get in the way.
It didn't. There was never a moment. I mean, I could, I know a lot of people have those moments, but for me, that wasn't it. Like, I never had a moment where I was like, nah, I don't think I could do this. It's too tough. It never, ever happened, no matter how hard it got. I just loved it too much. I'm fanatical like that. When I'm working, like, you should see me in the studio sometimes. Like, I'll start working, I'll forget to eat, I'll forget what time the whole day will pass. I won't go to the bathroom, nothing. Like, and the next thing you know, I've been there for like 12 hours.
I get that.
I just focus in, like, so that's kind of how I am.
There's a lot to be said for that, right? Like for living in your passions. I think maybe it's like a generational tendency to kind of do things we feel like we're supposed to, right? Because our parents want us to, or having like an obligation to your college degree to work in that field because you spent all this time and money, right? And I made a note about your schooling and how you dropped out of college. Like that might have been one of the coolest things that could have happened to you because it kind of gave you that freedom to do what you really love. And I think that's like understated. We should be able to spend time doing what really, what did they say, sets your soul on fire.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm hearing from you.
Look, I'm a firm believer, like the school thing. Look, go to school if you love it, and you see a way where it can benefit your life. But I'm in a mindset now of like, look, it's not for everybody. You know, it's not. Especially coming from the Caribbean background, you know, you have to do it. Right? Your parents are you go to college, and you get your degree, and of course, you crazy. Like that's what you have to do. But yeah, it was a little different for me. You know, it didn't work out that way. I kind of dropped out, but I was really, really passionate. And my family, they were always great. They were just like, well, better make it work. You know what I mean? But we got you. My family's really, really, really tight. And yeah, they were really helpful with that. But
one thing that struck me is you said you have to have all 10 toes, hands in. That kind of hit me because it's like that level of commitment. It seems like all sales, but something like Tony Robbins says is like if you have a boat in the middle of the ocean and you want to make sure that everybody's headed towards the same island. Once you get into the what do you call it, the U-boats? He's like, you got to burn the ship.
Okay.
Right? He's like, the only way you're gonna make sure
no backup.
that nobody go back, like you burn the ship.
Okay.
So this is the only destination.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in understand like some of your obstacles that you like the biggest ones that you that you face.
Yeah.
And how'd you shake that off? Like Jay-Z says, like bust your shoulder. How'd you shake those off?
Well, first of all, for me, that comes from, you know, my faith in God. Like that's just I know who my Father is. I know who I am. Like I was telling you earlier, my intention is good. That gives me supreme confidence in whatever I'm doing because I'm trying to do something good here. Now, if it's not so good, it's a little shit. That's different. I might, you know what I mean? I might feel a certain type of way. But if my intention is good, I'm just gonna move and I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna trust God. That's how I was brought up. As far as my biggest obstacle, though, man, I mean, it was probably that black ball thing, though. It was bad, man.
You were already on your way.
It was pretty bad because that was like you're not doing anything here. You know how easy that is to like shut you out of the whole industry over there. You know,
It's like you said, it's a small microcosm, right? It's a
Yeah.
small. So like if they say that's it,
they control everything.
Yeah.
They control everything on TV as well. It's the whole entertainment industry. So if you mess up there, that's it. You're just done. And it looked like for a time like that was it. I'm not gonna do anything. It wasn't easy, man. But like I said, I just never gave up.
what does that look like? I'm curious in terms because it's like here you are, you're given this. It seems like it's going back and forth, right? You're given this great scholarship, they take it away, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like these things are setting you up. The ultimate, you're given a Grammy, right?
Well, the Grammy came afterwards.
Okay.
That was after the black ball.
Okay.
The black ball thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that was.
But you're given this great opportunity, right? And all of a sudden, opportunities are there. Then that's taken away. But the levels seem to be getting bigger at each time in terms of like the levels of success and defeat. And
Me and my brother talk about this all the time. So
It's like
he's a pastor actually of a church. We laugh about this because every single time there's something doesn't go according to what my plan is, and it's just like a huge disappointment and letdown. Every single time, without fail in my life, when it worked out eventually, bigger and better every single time.
Look at that.
Not one time has it like just died and just became nothing, and it was just like never. It's never happened. And I attribute that to my faith in God because I just leave it in his hands. At that point, I'm just like, look, I leave it in God's hands, man, and let him take care of it.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is that the level of obstacle is equivalent to the level of success. In other words, it's like if you have to once you fail at that, then that is almost
every time. Like a song is supposed to come out, it doesn't come out. Like what happened? It got killed. This thing happened. Boom. Oh man, I thought I was gonna get that check, man. You know, I was hoping that, Jesus, a little dry right now. Next thing you know, you want to be in a group with me? you want to be an artist in a band with me? This guy's like the Bruno Mars of Japan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Every time, like the way it ended up working out, if I left it in guys, I'm just like, all right, leave it in your hands. It's all I did everything I could do. I just keep moving, doing my thing. It works out better every time.
And
It's not me.
What is that reset? So does your reset becomes fat? You know what I'm saying? It's like, because there is, when you fall, right? Take some time to get up. Sometimes it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, that hurt. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, it's like, I don't know about you, but when you fall, some failures are huge, bro. Like, you just don't,
Especially at this age.
right?
Any
It's
kind
need
of
some
fall,
time.
my gosh.
I'm gonna need some time.
like, I mean, it's like, so what is that reset? Like, is just your reset become faster like each time, or is like,
I'm already at this place of I laugh I get happy. All right, you see, y'all.
Oh, now he get.
It's
Hold
like I'm
on,
talking crazy. I
now
know how
the
crazy it
Bronx,
sounds.
now the Bronx is really coming out. It's like, yo, throw something at me.
But bro, that's really the energy that I'm on right
I like
now.
that.
Like literally, if there is a problem, I already know what the result is gonna be. Oh man, this is gonna be bigger. And I already know that's what's gonna, because it hasn't happened any other way. Until that happens, and then we'll see. But that hasn't happened yet. So literally, that's my energy, man. I was like, I already know, okay, it didn't work out through this path. There must be a better path that somebody greater got planned for me. So I'm gonna let it work, do what I gotta do. I get excited. That's what I told you, me and my brother talking about, we laugh. So when something comes up, some disappointment, we're like, oh man, what's in store? I can't wait. I can't wait for like,
So what we
this
doing?
is gonna be
Almost
great
like-
because I know
but
it's
the
gonna
way
be.
it's crazy. The way
Yeah,
you view
that's-
obstacles is
I have to be like that, man.
So different from how we look at obstacles. It's like, yo, the first thought is like presented to you is like, yo, like that's gonna be mad difficult. That's gonna be mad hard. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do you even want to do that? Versus like, oh, that right there is a big mountain. That's a big level of success right there, right next to it.
Exactly.
It's like you're not burdened with the doubt that most people have.
No.
You know,
Why?
It's like-
Because if
yeah.
you worry about it, it's not gonna do anything, man. If you got a problem, right? You gotta get to the solution. That's the solution. Is the solution, right? How you get to the solution? By sitting down worrying about it, like by feeling bad. I got so much to be happy about. I've been so blessed. You know what I mean? I'm not worthy of whatever, any of this stuff. You know what I mean? Anyway,
I'm hearing a lot of gratitude. Yeah.
yeah, but I mean that's I gotta be that way, man. If something comes along that is hurtful to me or whatever, it's painful or something like that, it's it's a part of life, and I've just come to accept it as like I've had so many blessings, so many good things have happened that I know I don't deserve, man. You know what I mean? Like, how can I complain if like some kind of bad thing, something I don't like, really, nothing really bad really happens, that, it always works out. It always works. So I just look at the positive, man. I'm just looking for what the new thing is going to be, how it's going to work out better. And that's what usually happens. Right?
That's a dope mindset, bro.
Yeah.
It really
That's
is.
that's a whole lot of no weapons form talk
That's
right
exactly what it is.
Because you hear it. You hear it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the highest stage, most cats don't want to take that final shot. It's like it's 2 seconds left on the clock.
Okay,
Or it's 5
yeah.
seconds left on the clock.
Yeah.
Most cats don't want to take that shot because they're thinking about the failures, right? It's like, because all that heat come to you because you took the last shot.
But if you're 10 toes deep,
But it's like when
then
you
you
look
love
at,
that feeling.
Well,
Like it's like Kobe. He can't wait to take that
you
last
want
shot.
that.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
know that with that comes with it.
This,
You're
yeah.
equating that.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you're not thinking about like, I don't want to be the one to take that shot. Because that's the natural tendencies. I don't want to be the one to take
Sure.
that shot.
But
Versus,
if you think about it, if I make that joint right now and save my team, do you understand how crazy? That's what I focus on.
that's dope.
Yeah,
Like,
the party
that's dope.
afterwards, man.
That's real dope. That's real dope.
sure,
That's
for
real
sure.
dope.
It seems like that's a deliberate choice, right?
It is,
to
though.
choose to
Yes.
to embrace that.
This is not a
versus
natural thing for me.
choosing to
This wasn't. No, I had to grow into that.
Do you think
I
that-
made myself that way,
right.
for
And
sure.
does it take
Yes.
practice?
Yes.
Right,
yes,
like
yes,
here's an
a lot.
opportunity where I can either.
Maybe some people
Can
just.
you share some of those nuggets, bro?
I don't,
He's here, he's here doing it.
This is
Yeah.
the nugget.
I am curious about one thing. Do you think it's derived from the discipline that you've had creating music from the drumming stage? Even when you were drumming as a
Unabated, focus.
yeah, just that focus and
just
it's building on those skills. Would
Yeah.
you say that plays a huge role going in that direction in terms of confidence?
Yeah, it does. But I mean, there's a discipline thing there, right? Factor to it for sure. But like it's seeing past experiences, literally as math, like literally analyzing how it played out. Okay, so this happened. Remember when that happened back then, and it wasn't good, and I had no gigs, and then look how it worked. It turned into this, and then this went back, and it turned into this, and you do stocks and you watch the thing, and the graph is going up, and it has certain dips or whatever, but there's an upward trend.
Yeah.
There's been an upward trend. That's what I look at. So I'm like, all right, I'm still on my way up. Like I said, I put everything in God's hands. It's based on my faith. That's what it is. It ain't me. It ain't nothing. It's not like I work so hard. I mean, all those things are great. But like I said, I have that faith in what I do. I try to do something good. I try to do something positive. With that intention, why should I worry? For what? My dad got me, man. Daddy got me. I'm covered.
Are you enjoying the conversation? Please like and subscribe to our channel. Be sure to hit the bell for notifications and be the first to know when new episodes drop. Do you have any nuggets of wisdom to share? We'd love to hear from you on the nuggets you've learned. Please comment below.
Sky Daddy.
This is dope. I mean, there are people who are going to listen to our conversation and learn from you in all kinds of fields.
I hope.
So what are those practices, bro? What are those nuggets, bro? Because you were like,
I mean, there's so many.
Give us a couple. I'm just curious. Because you said because you said yo.
I'm not sure what kind of.
No, because you said you had to really practice it. And then I'm not saying this has to be something like, like you shout over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know what I'm saying. I'm saying like, but whether it's a muscle, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
No, okay,
it could be a thing where you're like, I read something wrong, and I went back, and I was like, all right, that energy, that thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is something that you, like you said, like you have to
learned.
constantly
I'm thinking he's
work at that.
So what I had to specifically work at was not feeling like crap when things didn't go the way I wanted it to go. That simple. I could be a little HSP. I'm not sure. They say artists tend to
What's
be
HSP?
Help me with that, please.
highly sensitive people or something like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
New terminology for whatever. This is a new one every day, right?
Yeah.
I had a question mark right here. in the book.
I've always noticed, like, okay, I guess I probably am, because I'm the type of guy, we're in the studio right now. I'm like, okay, this light should be like a little bit higher. We should probably put a little green over there because her skin, that would work well with her shirt or whatever. Like I like to set the environment for what I'm doing. So like recently, I just finished an entire album for a mindfulness company, believe it or not. So I never did it. This is like me wearing the composer hat. So this is like orchestral type of stuff. A lot of people don't know I do that. So there's a company called Russell Mindfulness Entertainment. They're based in Japan. They asked me to do this album, and it's the first time. I mean, I'm making what is mindfulness music, dude? I'm the pop guy, you know what I mean? I'm doing J-pop. It's so out. It's so completely different, and I had to like bring myself into like this place to create that music. I did little things like I remember I would be in the studio with my engineer, and we got like a big movie screen in the front, like a 16-foot thing, and I would just like put imagery of like running water and stuff like that. We have like a bunch of lights. I would like dim the lights and put the colors in a certain way.
Wearing
that
linen
fit.
pants.
Exactly. Bought a bunch of acoustic instruments and stuff like that. I had like the diffusers going with different aromas. Was just trying to find like for that whatever the song was I was working on at that moment for the album, create the environment to make that song better. I had to like it was like that's I immersed myself in it.
Got it.
So like I remember I was doing this one tune. It was like really really earthy and stuff like that. I literally was in Okinawa recording the ocean waves at the beach and stuff with different sounds, and just creating the organic things. And like point I was trying to make initially was that like I'm sort of sensitive to vibes. Whether it's the temperature, whether it's a smell, with how you talking to me, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be like, all right, that was cool what he said, but he kind of snuck in a little. I caught that, you know what I mean?
Jab.
And sometimes, we try to shove it under. I got pretty thick skin, but if I'm honest, these things affect us. You know what I mean? I was having a conversation with a friend recently, and we were just talking about like she was like saying how sarcastic she was, and I was like, it's kind of derogatory sometimes. Like if people who kind of boast about being that way sometimes. As I got older, I kind of shunned away from that, from making sarcastic comments, because at root it's derogatory. That's part of the definition of sarcasm. Like you're saying something like derogatory, you know what I mean? So like it's like you're, I think, conveying contempt or something like that with irony. That's the definition, something like that. So I'm like, you know, like I could be funny and ironic and have the laugh without the jab. You know what I mean? So then it's not worth bad parts that could come from the jab to have the funny joke. And as I got older, I'm just like, yo, chill. Like, I don't need to make that funny joke that's kind of a jab at you. You know what I mean?
Because they meant it.
I don't need it.
They meant something to
Yeah,
them.
like usually there's something. That's why it's funny, because there's a little bit of truth to that, right? Whatever they said, maybe, or at least that's how they feel. The more of those bad vibes that I have, like, it affects how I write and my ability to like create and stuff like that. So to answer, I went all the way around the world to get to this point, which is simply just that I had to focus on not letting these type of things affect me. So when something bad happens, instead of getting depressed or feeling bad and sulking in it, I'm like, nope, all right, learn from that, move right along for it, no matter whether it was with the blackball thing, whether it was if I didn't have money at the time, whatever, and the gigs got canceled, songs got canceled, tours got switched up, all kinds of things happened over the years. I wasn't gonna get like just sulk. I'm like, nope, I'm just gonna move forward. I'm just gonna move forward. I'm just gonna move forward and not let it affect me. I had to really, really work at that. So now my confidence comes from that. It comes from that track record of, just it working out every time. So then it's like, I should assume that it will next time,
From practicing that.
Yeah.
Oh, I get that. I mean, there's a lot of memes out there about
Which one? I love it.
thinking. I love memes. I have one where you're sitting there in your room with a blanket on, thinking about that one thing somebody said at a gas station about your shoes. It just halts your whole life.
Yeah. It will, man. For some people, it does, though. This is a real thing, man.
I've been some people.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
It's just like,
Yeah.
why did I say that? And now you're hanging on that forever.
Yeah.
Right. I'm the one that said that stupid thing, but it wasn't. It's not your identity, right? Like you're more than this moment that happened.
For
so
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a practice.
Yeah, and
for
that's
sure.
interesting too. Is like when you've done something, how does that work? How do you practice that?
Well, like with the sarcasm things,
Yeah.
that's a perfect example of that, because I was just like, I need to stop
Oh,
making
you
sarcasm.
probably went overboard.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've seen
Got
it
it.
happen with me too. Like
Got it.
I say, I'm just trying to be funny, but I'm like, yeah, your shirt is whatever, whatever. But I'm like, why though?
Right.
I'm just trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be mean. But when you go home tonight and you're in the car, you're like, yeah, I remember I caught that slick thing he said. I wasn't that cool. I didn't. But you never know how these things really affect people.
How they land for
I've
real.
caught
Yeah.
that with myself, and I'm like, no, I don't want to be that guy anymore. So I like, for me, I'm not. Listen, some people have fun with sarcasm. Listen, like we say in the Bronx, we cut ass, right, all the time. That's what we do. It's fun. Have fun. Live your life. But for me, I had to stop that because it just seemed like a toxic thing. Right?
And even self-talk, right? Like even just the things you say to yourself, you might be making little digs at yourself that you don't realize are building up. So as I'm listening to you, that's something I'm gonna.
Did you
taking
think this is
notes
gonna be a
of.
huge therapy
I
session?
know, right?
It's gonna be a deep. I'm like,
don't know.
look at this like about
Goddamn.
music.
Don't charge me
This is like correct.
Don't what?
Don't charge me for this session.
This was supposed to be a deep therapy session, but
I
I'm like,
mean-
I'm
Come to the
getting-
studio,
I'm
man. You
getting-
can lay down.
Yeah, all kinds of, we're looking through
Tell
the
me.
questions. I'm like, wait, I wanted to ask you about your
I know
musical
we have a whole.
influences and all these
we're at
other
an
things,
hour
but
mark already. Like,
this is really rich, and like you're into it, so like we're
Yeah.
into it, and
dope.
and it's just a really wonderful exchange.
because I think you look at people, and you look at people who are successful, and like I said, I think you're like a unicorn in that because done something that normal people don't do.
Yeah.
What we don't often get is the nuggets of how they really do that, and what are the things. And we're looking at all the results,
Tangible-
right? What are the
tangible details.
tangible things? But we're interested. I'm like, well, what? Right? So like, and that's deep.
Yeah.
I mean, back to other reasons that you're here. I mean, I think it's really exciting to introduce our audience to is the right word, discography, and like all the music you've created. Like it's gonna be dope for people to be like, oh, I saw this interview and let me look up and listen. And I mean, I'll be listening to more of it too. So
Thank you.
yeah, for sure.
Hopefully we can go on tour soon. It's gonna be crazy because these guys, we're doing 40, 50,000 people a night normally. After a 2-year pandemic, where people are just like cramped up at home, like it's gonna be crazy.
In your group, what role do you play in the group?
I'm a keyboard player, man.
Okay.
So I was a drummer.
words, but these
Phekoo
dudes
on
are
the
singing,
keys.
right? It's
Yeah.
like these dudes are singing.
It's literally a band. So,
Okay.
you know, you got the lead singers, Exile Tucci, then myself on keys,
Okay.
Fuyu on drums, and a guitarist named Duran. We don't have a bass player. We use different guys. I also produce. So, you know, I'm writing and producing for the group. And we all do. We write together and stuff. Keyboard player, man, just up there doing my thing. I'm not really good, I don't think, but I have a lot of good feels. You know, I got like, you know, I'm black, so I got I got that rhythm, I got the feels, feel goods and stuff, but like I wouldn't say I'm this proficient keyboard player now. Definitely better at drums.
So if you could collaborate any icon, living or dead, who would it be?
We gotta do something with Bruno, man. Like we actually we looking at, man, we had so much stuff planned. That Bruno story is crazy too. Can I segue? Like,
Sure, please.
Bruno was the biggest artist in the world, right? When he was on tour doing this thing. The last
Amazing.
album he came out with. Bruno's numbers in Japan were low. In what world, why am I outselling Bruno in Japan? Doesn't make any sense whatsoever, right? That's just to show you how, like, you know, the industry is, like, kept so tight in Japan. He wanted to crack in. So anyway, he ended up doing a deal with Avex. A lot of people don't know about it. This is not a secret or anything. It's just not big news, I guess. But he actually did a deal, you know, for his discography and stuff. And, you know, they got his music. And so so he could sell more and, you know, over there. That just shows you, like, how, like, Japanese music industry, like, you can't, it doesn't matter who you are.
Wow.
Like, literally, like, how did this little dude from the Bronx crack it? It was like, I'm telling you, it was pure luck, man. That's what I think. Back to we want to collaborate with him because we love his music. We love what Silk Sonic is doing now as a group. So there's some people are talking. Let's just put it like that. There's a lot of big things planned for the end of the year. I know Bieber's coming out there through Avex at the end of the year. And in 2023 is when, you know, we're probably going to do some stuff outside of Japan. I'll just put it like that. But there's a lot of big collabs already in the works. And I'm going to do some solo stuff as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to launch in Japan and then for world. Yeah.
So what's the solo gonna be? Is you solo singing, dancing?
No. None of the above. Like more of a producer, DJ type of a. Think of like Zed or something like that. Like he DJs, he makes his pop type of music, and he has different singers on it that come like that type of thing.
Do you have any U.S. artists, or is it just Japan?
Everything. Going worldwide.
Oh, word.
Of course, I'm gonna probably do my launch in Japan. It's time, man, because like I've worked with all the artists all my life, man. Like supporting as a music director and as a musician in bands, and then I joined this band even with Atushi, and it's great, it's wonderful. But that project is what it is. But then I got my own thing, my own sound and stuff that I wanna, you know, get out there. So
Like if there was a nugget or whatever that you'd like to share, leave on the table for anybody who's watching this.
literally, like, it's the cliche thing that you hear all the time, but it's just so true. Literally do what you want to do. Just do exactly what you want to do. Don't look for validation or support from any. If you get it, it's great. But the only way to accomplish whatever your goals are is to, like, just be crazy about it. You got to be head over heels. Just dig in. You got to love it. You got to want it. Go for it. Doesn't matter how crazy it sounds. Even if it means flying halfway across the world to Japan, a place where you don't speak the language. Befriend their musical royalty. Somehow start making huge hits and winning awards and changing your life for the better and doing more to help. Like, that's what happened to me. And it could happen to you too.
Word.
We loved having you on the show today. Phekoo, thank you.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you to everyone for watching, and we will see you on our next episode of The Nugget.
Holla.
Thanks for watching the latest episode of The Nugget. Please like and subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell for notifications to know when new episodes drop. Do you have any nuggets of wisdom to share? At The Nugget, we're all about fostering conversation. So please jump in the comments section and share your wisdom with us.
After being shot and paralyzed at the age of 13, Jeff Williams' life looked bleak. But armed with dogged determination and a desire not to be counted out, he rebuilt his body and his life. In his new book, My Feet Are Off the Ground, Jeff chronicles how he turned his tragedy by becoming a motivational speaker, real estate broker, and an apparel designer. Listen to his story on the first episode of The Nugget and buy the book at myfeetareofftheground.bigcartel.com.